Puppy, puppy. Super poo. Kuputu. Super puppy, people, puppy. Super puppy. People, super people, puppy. Can I?
Baru, 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 baru.
Karu, para menu.
Oh, this is Nahatomb, the final boss of Klonoa to Phantomile. And basically what we have to do in to actually damage Nahatomb is, as the Moon Queen said, actually throw enemies into the cannons, which is easier said than done from what we will see, because firstly he will launch these really fast and rather invincible enemies, and there will be only one move that will appear. And seriously, that wave attack can easily knock you off your stride, so to speak, so yeah. And be careful where you are launching each of the enemies as well. Nahatomb himself can eat you. Yes, that is a thing. The giant gluttonous monster can eat you and spit you out. Seriously, out of his blowhole, so yeah, so he parts Kirby part Monstro, apparently. So yeah, what will happen when you actually fling one of the enemies into the wrong cannon, as you saw there, which I've done quite wrongly, is they will get sucked up into the cannon and explode, which, yeah, I absolutely hate, as you can tell. Also, it's very hard with with these other enemies running around to tell which one's been loaded into a cannon. Until you pay close attention to each of the cannons, you will notice that near one of the cannons is a symbol, and the cannon is actually pointing at Nahatomb. So that's a big clue as to which one actually is loaded with ammo. So yeah, other than that, yeah, this is actually quite a challenging boss, and quite a tough final boss as well. I think it's divided into 3 different phases as well, so yeah. So this first phase is just us throwing the enemies into the thing. I'm trying not to do a Wahoo jump with Klonoa here, because that will be the death of me. That will be the death of me in many ways, because I don't want to do Wahoo jumps. I'm making float above the thing, even though they are useful. Okay, so that was pointy in Nahatomb, so am I really that stupid? Yes, apparently I am. Either that or I don't want to throw in those enemies and everything. I'm just waiting for him to launch more moves out of his back. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah. And oh boy, that move. Again, you can't flap over it. It kind of lashes with his tongue back and forth if he isn't able to hit you. Okay, I've got that one aimed. So yeah, I'm just wasting moves here. So what happens once you have loaded all the enemies into each of the cannons then? As you'll note, Nahatomb's HP does not go down, so we'll load it into Baloo's one, and then who's left? Well, there's the one of the tribesmen from, dare I say, from Forlock, so I want to get to him next. Other than that, yeah. So shooting out with his... Seriously, his back reminds me way too much of a volcano. Anyway, got it into the Forlock's tribesmen. So, who's left then? There's King Seedorf, I believe that's the Moon Queen. Baloo, he's definitely got it pointed. Okay, the Moon Queen hasn't. And yeah, let him grab you there, Klonoa. I'm trying my hardest in this case not to think it did take a couple of retries, as I say, because even though I have completed the Wii version, barring maybe Baloo's Tower, it's been a while since I played that game, because I hated playing that game on my Wii, seriously. So who's left then? Whose cannon is not pointed at Nahatomb's big stomach? Let's see, It's the Moon Queen, isn't it? So yeah, so I have to figure out which of these enemies is not running like crazy towards this guy. And it is this one over here to the left. And I just had, pretty much had him destroyed. Though having said that, his wave attack actually does turn the kind of madcap moves, yes, that's what I'll call it, madcap moves, into regular moves. So which ones you can grab. So yes, apparently it turns them neutral. Yeah, I'm gonna go with neutral. And in the end, all the cannons fire at him, and then we're suddenly sucked inside him from what I can only describe as a I could say an homage to, I think, that's what it looks like in the Wii version and the, this version, the Fantasy Reverie version of Klonoa Daughter Phantom Isle. So the second phase basically plays like Smash Brothers. Seriously, we're on a stage and we're facing a giant face. Yeah, it totally reminds me of Smash Brothers. So basically with this one, he's shooting lasers at our face while the stage tilts. It is very hard to grab the moves while this is happening. And there are also meteors in the background, seriously. Apparently the moves are subject to ice physics, which either that or I'm guessing the force of friction, which Klonoa is himself. The only way to actually fling the moves at Nahatomb is is to actually throw them towards his face, which, given the tilting stage, is not easy, and keep in mind the meteors. Seriously, because the meteors can actually hit you as well. Yes, far more than Maleficent's. At least with her, you could actually avoid them. Seriously, by actually going in close to her. But no, not so with Nahatomb. I've already taken off a piece of his health, so yeah. Maybe I'm flinging at the meteors. There are some which are glowing, so yeah. Apparently you can't damage his face. But yeah, that's all that Nahatomb does, really. So fling it at the next meteor, there you go. In fact, you can tell he's actually in pain because the lasers stop. Seriously. It starts blinking and somehow the lasers have stopped for a short while before he starts up again. Seriously, this does remind me of a thing. I wish I had more moves though in this, what I like to call the Smash Brothers phase. But unlike with Master Hand, it seems Nahatomb does not. Well, he does look more menacing here than he does in his rather obese form we just saw him in. Although we will have to see him in his obese form in the third phase. So yeah. But this phase is a lot easier despite the problem with the tilting stage and everything. I'm just waiting for the meteor to show up. It's usually the glowing one. Usually it's red. In the second half of this phase, it is more blue. But there you go. And there we go. So Nahatomb's second phase is done. What will happen now? Well, we'll see. Klonoa gets, I guess, farted back out, and then we'll emerge on these platforms. Oh, great timing! Not my forte! But we still have to do it, so basically with this phase, Nahatomb is now really pissed. He still launches enemies, but things get a lot harder because there are gaps in the floor. So yes, there's one fast enemy, one slow one. If you do die here, however, you will start from this phase, which is a good thing because that's a right pain in the arse otherwise. If I had to start from the first phase again, then I probably would have rage quit, seriously. As for Nahatomb himself, he sends out this rainbow move, weirdly enough. While you are trying to launch the things, and he will blow up the platforms in the order you are moving away from them. You are given them a little bit of time to escape from them, so it's not too bad. I believe it gets much quicker as the boss fight goes on. But yeah, other than that, Yeah, very annoying phase again because of timing. Again, I've already mentioned that. Yeah, and he is very much a god of destruction now, is Nahatomb. Hey, I thought Guardius was annoying. Yeah, no, Nahatomb's far worse. As for launching the moves, throwing them at the cannons will not work. No, you have to actually fling them downwards with a Wahoo jump. Yeah, that's the way. So, indeed, yeah. And it isn't easy when Nahatomb is destroying all the platforms and everything, seriously. So, here, what else Nahatomb will do while he's in play here is actually, launch meteors at you as well. And, his, dare I say, his rather annoying rainbow move will hit 3 times, as will his move to actually, well, dare I even say it, to destroy the platforms. Will hit 3 times, seriously. So, with the rainbows, you will have to flap, then land, and then quickly flap again with Klonoa, which is not easy, while I am trying to move quickly through each of the platforms, dealing with Nahatomb's attacks and everything. Strangely enough, the enemies do not actually take any damage from the thing. Okay, so that's 2 cannons. What about the other ones then? Well, we'll see in a moment. Because, yeah, so I'll wait for this one. Yeah, you can be a bit off because, well, this giant, fat, I can't say oaf, is not actually, well, evil god.
Mom, Daddy. Daddy. Huewpoe, Manirapi. Huewpoe. Yuppie. Yuppie. Wario, para amor. Mani wafu, Huewpoe. Wafu milk manu. Nahatomb wafu. Huewpoe, Muna trophy. Coffee. Mani wafu, bake wafu. Kanya? Yuppie, Huewpoe. Yuppie, Huewpoe. Wafu. Yuppie, Huewpoe. Yuppie, Huewpoe. Walu. Wafu. Wani, Dahilma. Nahatomb wafu. Maju wafu, wafu. Yuppie, 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 yuppie. Huewpoe, yuppie, Huewpoe. Labra. Labra, labra, labra. Yuppie, yuppie, Huewpoe. Yuppie, yuppie, Huewpoe. Yuppie, yuppie, yuppie. Yuppie, Huewpoe. Yuppie, yuppie, Huewpoe. Wafu. Yuppie, Huewpoe. Yuppie, yuppie, yuppie. Wafu. Tiara, Huewpoe. 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 Huewpoe.
That was probably one of the saddest endings to a video game I have ever seen. Even more so than Aerith's death in Final Fantasy VII. Seriously. Anyway, that was Klonoa, Daughter Phantomile. Yeah, for a game that is mostly cutesy or starts off that way, the ending is something that really does make me cry. Seriously, the fact that, firstly, the whole story for Klonoa was nothing but a dream, and it was only sent there to pretty much end the bad dreams and everything, and that the whole friendship with Huewpoe was a lie. But Huewpoe wanted deep down for Klonoa to stay. I mean, what can I say to that? The only sad thing is that it isn't as dark as on the PS1 version. Seriously. I might well show that off in an extra video. As well as maybe Baloo. I may well record Baloo's Tower, actually, because the only Phantom Alien I missed was that one in the last Vision. Seriously. The only thing is I'd have to go through that whole level and face Guardius again, because the bosses aren't separate in the first game. And everything. Everything else? Probably one of the most underrated PS1 games. I guess underrated Wii games as well, although the Wii version is not as good as the PS1 version from what I've seen. In terms of physics, anyway. But, yeah. So, the next Klonoa game will obviously be Klonoa 2 Lunatea's Veil, but I do actually want to cover Baloo's Tower, so I won't be covering that yet, shall we say. I also want to look at the PS1 version and maybe the mirror things in the Wii version, which, as I say, I don't have already, so yeah. So I will probably see you for the extra episode involving that. And, indeed, yeah. All I can say is Klonoa 2's ending is a little less sad than this one. Anyway, I'll see you for the extra episode. Goodbye!